Fastening!
It's showtime.
Hey! Woo! All right. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. Oh my gosh, do we have a big night scheduled tonight. All right. I am so pumped. I hope you were all with me when I was at Conquest earlier, saying hi to Raul and George and Danny. I had an absolutely fantastic time. I really think it's something that needs to happen in our community a little bit more, and I'm definitely going to make sure that happens. So I'm pretty pumped about that. I want to thank everyone for being here today. Let's just take a quick moment and say hi to everybody tonight. Bill, thank you very much for joining us. Donald Masson, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Clint, thank you very much. Of course, my moderator, Robert Fish, is here. Thank you, Robert. We all appreciate that. Doug, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. Marcus, thank you, my friend, and I will have a little bit of cowboy for you later. Car Misfits of all scales, thank you for joining us. Well, absolutely fantastic crowd tonight. Sean Hurley, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Another one of my members. I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Rick, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Kenny, woo! There are some slot car people in the house tonight. Oh my gosh. I thought Raul was going to drop over when he looked over and seen 52 people in his chat room. Oh, might have had to go to slow mode there for a minute, I think. Wow. That is so awesome. Oh, right on. Thanks for joining us, Keith. And the mayor's in the house. Thanks for joining us, Mayor. All right, so for anybody who's been living under an HO rock for the last week, well, certainly the last 3 days, here I'll fill you in on the big news. Everybody, let's congratulate our good friend Scott here at Scott's House of HO Racing. He is now the happy owner of 1,000 subscribers.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Let's hear it in the comments, guys. Get them up there. Let's go. Woo! All right. Thanks, brother. I absolutely appreciate that. It's so nice to see that people are moving up in our hobby.
Yep.
Because it would be really daunting if there was nobody around to benchmark yourself on.
Exactly.
So and for me, my benchmark, I was actually using Stockpile Hobbies. Steve at Stockpile Hobbies, we were both, we literally 1,000 marked on our same night. He 1,000 marked on my night, actually, because of he got 10 subscribers, put him over the edge that night. So.
That's so awesome.
And what you may know, Scott, is I have a feeling you got to 1,000 way before you got to 4,000 hours, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So now, as soon as you get that 4,000 hours and you get your notice back from AdSense, hey, you'll be making the big bucks just like me, bro, and you'll have to hire security. You see the security I had to hire? Damn, I went out and bought a German Shepherd and a Rottweiler.
Thank you to everybody. I'm reading the chats there. Sean, Doug, Robert, Keith, thank you guys for that. Congratulations. I appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you to everybody that is a subscriber of my channel that's in the chat. Without you guys helping me out and helping Dan out and Chris and Adam, we wouldn't be where we're at. So thank you guys. Thank you, Tom.
Absolutely fantastic. Thanks, guys. Way to go. Way to go. This is absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Wow. Excitement. I mean, I know that. I know that excitement. What can I say, right? So I'm about to double up on that excitement before Christmas. So that's my benchmark is 2,000 before Christmas. It's not far out there, but hey, you have to plan for something, and you have to have a goal in mind. I mean, just making videos is great and it's awesome, but you really have a goal. I mean, as big or as small as it may be, as long as you have something to work towards. And of course, once again, I always say, always have an idea and let it evolve. That way, you're not locked into anything that you're not necessarily wanting to do in the end. Because as you buy your HO products, hey, maybe you can't have that tight corner on your track anymore because of the cars you want to run or favor. Maybe you can't have that, as we were talking the other day about bank curves. Depending on which vehicles you're running, you can or cannot run bank curves. So tonight, excuse me, that brings us to our subject tonight, of course. And tonight the subject is HO tracks, layout and placement. So in the house, we have the four people tonight who I feel will have the best influence on the crowd tonight. Of course, when we're dealing with AFX or Auto World, I was immediately looking for guys who just set up their tracks because, of course, they would have it fresh in mind as to the reason why they did what they did. And that's what we're going to get into tonight. We're going to do a little digging. I think everybody here has seen these four gentlemen's tracks. And if you haven't, well, I made it easy for you tonight. I actually did some work. I put their sites, their channels are in the description. So
nice.
Laziest SOB on earth. And all you got to do is click once and you'll be there. So
nice.
Everybody, I ask you please, once again, don't even worry about me. Let's hit some likes and some subscriptions on my guests here, please. I would absolutely appreciate that. So we'll let everybody, of course, as you've seen when the video started, I did that cool little intro video. Well, you know, that's where you can find them. Now here's the person. So up here in the top with me, that would be Scott from Scott's House of HO Racing. And of course, for those who don't know, once again, he just broke 1,000. So, woo! All right. So, Scott, introduce yourself.
Yeah, Scott's House of HO Racing. I'm Scott. Thank you to everybody that got me to 1,000, and we've got the race for 2K, like what Dan's doing. So let's get Dan to his 2K, and let's get everybody else that's not at 1,000 to 1,000. Let's get this community up and going, guys. I know we can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So let's get her done.
Yeah. All right. So directly below me should be Adam Hurt. Adam.
Hey guys.
And just to the left or the right of him would be Chris.
Hey, I'm Chris with Southern Slot Racing. I'm fairly new to the hobby. I'm not new to hobbying I've been in model trains for years. So this is a transition to go fast instead of slow trains.
Man after my own heart.
Right. So like I was saying with the guys on Raul's stream earlier, you know, I know what it's like to start with the trains. And of course, you know, as you get older, you get cooler too, right? So can I show that one?
The background's killing it.
Yeah.
I gotta kill the back screen. Oh, maybe it will from here.
Put it in front of your face.
There you go.
So I got my little tux there, and I'm driving my train set. And I'll tell you right now, I'm 50 years old, so I was 2 when that picture was taken. So
Nice.
I've been at hobbying for a little while now, but you know, like me and Raul were talking about, everyone's got their story to, in our case, slot car glory. But when I say it, it's HO glory. But as we're all together, it's definitely slot car glory, not HO anymore. Got to share it with everybody else. So Let's talk about tracks tonight. We're going to start with Scott tonight. Scott's got a really interesting layout. He has a few variations in his track that the average person doesn't have. And I think it's kind of an interesting layout, and he's going to let us know why it is he did what he did and why he chose the track he did. So, Scott, we're going to give you the floor, and it's go time, brother.
Sure, thanks. Well, to anybody that's setting up their track for the first time, the first thing that I would suggest is buy a good quality track to start with, and then build from there. So build what you can afford, and then just add to it from there. And the best way to add to your track is just to buy another set, and that's how I did my track. I started with an AFX Super International track because it got me 4 cars, 4 controllers, the power packs, it got me ready to go for 4-lane racing. And then I just bought other track sets and then started making my own out of it. And what I learned, what I like to do is I like to go fast. So a lot of these slow snakes, what I call snake back tracks and stuff like that, those really don't interest me. I'm more for the high speed, but I also understand that to have fun, nobody's got to, you don't want to go wide open all the time. So I've got a mix of banks and flats, and I even have some really tight 6-inch corner, a couple of 6-inch corners on my track to really make you have to slow down and drive. So I've kind of mixed it with speed and some technical, and I've just found that that's a lot more enjoyable because the more the cars stay on the track, the more fun you have. The next thing that I would suggest is build as big a track as your room can hold, because if you build it small, you're going to get bored with it, and you're going to want to make it bigger to begin with. So just start with using the space that you have and fill it in, and then start. I would honestly, how I built mine is I started with a 2-lane track, and then I just started adding the sections that I needed to make it a 4-lane. And that way you're not messing with 4 pieces of track trying to set out a layout. You're just doing one, and then you just add your inner or outer pieces depending on where you're at. So there's my tip. Stick with AFX is my thing.
Yeah. So we had an interesting conversation about a piece of track that doesn't really get much talk about, oddly enough, I guess. The fellas at Conquest were wondering about the flex track.
Okay, so the word in the name of the track tells you that there's going to be a problem with it from the word go, because anytime that you flex metal, it's got a memory, and you can only flex it so many times, and then it's going to break. And so the problem with those flex tracks is after a few times of shaping them the way you want to shape them, then they're going to start breaking conductivity on the rails. And next thing you know, you can't even get your car to go across it. And so I don't personally recommend those to anybody, because they just break so quick, and all they do is just make you mad because you wasted your money on something that didn't last, 2 or 3 runs with your car.
Right. Yeah, and the traction was issue, kind of like the cobblestone track.
Yeah, just nothing good about them whatsoever. It looked cool in theory, to be able to do
they
hills
awesome,
and
bro.
quits.
They look awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody. I mean, I even had one.
Me too. Yeah, that's how I know they short it out all the time, because the car go halfway through it and it's just stop.
And that's it.
Yep, yeah. You were done. There's some good brakes for our drag strips. I never even thought about that. So yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Find some way to use that old piece of crap track. So yeah.
Yeah, no kidding, eh?
I don't recommend that to anybody. So or the hairpins. If you're going to race on your track, there's 2 pieces of track that I really don't recommend: the flex and the hairpins. The hairpins are a nightmare. They look cool that you think you're going to be zipping around there. No. Your cars 99.9% of the time fall off. They won't go around the damn corner. And if you are lucky enough to get one to go around the corner,
6 corners are terrible. They're already terrible, even as a 6. Trying to squeeze a 3 around that is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. They shouldn't even make it. A modern AFX car couldn't even barely go around.
Some of them can't. Some of them, because the body size, because the way they have that little island in the middle.
Yeah.
Some of the cars can't even make it around it because the body hits it, so it de-slots it as soon as you hit it. So Yeah, those
Yeah.
two pieces of track, just dodge them like the plague because you'll regret it the minute you put it on your track.
Yeah, it's definitely not something that you'll want to do. I mean, even if you do it, it's something that, hey, it's a learning experience, man. You know, you've tried it. So,
I'm just trying to save some people some money because I went out and bought 2 of them for my 4-lane track. And then I hooked up one of them. Like I said, I did a 2-lane track first to see what I liked. And then I couldn't even get a car to go around and make a lap with that stupid thing in there. And I'm like, well, I am so glad I didn't put both of these on there and build my whole track around that.
right.
Just to have to tear it all back down and try to reshape stuff. So
Right.
don't even waste your money on them, guys. I'm just telling you straight up.
Imagine this really seems like a Dylan Mulvaney kind of thing where he's trying to convince a guy's trying to convince us that he's a little girl doll in real life. I believe this was a good case of was it Aurora, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Aurora trying to say, hey, look what we can do, and you kind of like, dude, you piddled on the carpet.
Yeah.
You know, like, gosh, just spins me up thinking about lost slot car ideas, right? Like, how much money went into that? Because this would have been something that would have actually been on a drawing board. There probably would have been meetings about this, people sketching, pencil sketching sketches of what this fantastic track can do. And it can't do squat except short shit out. And mind you, it did look good. And it was a great idea. I mean, for real. It just impractical, and really in reality, it was a complete nightmare and a waste of money.
Kind of like slotless HO cars. Great in theory. I mean, when I saw those Ultra 5s and the TCRs on the commercials, I was just like, oh, I got to have one. I got to have one. And the first time I drove one at my neighbor's house, I was like, oh, I'm so glad I didn't get one. I'm so glad I didn't get one. Because all they do is just sling out to the outside. So all you do is just ride around the outside the whole time.
And that was the problem with that, right?
Those little tires can't steer a car.
And not even, right? And it's just like you said, well, you're hoping your car is going to sling and hit the edge and carry on. And they were very inconsistent. It's weird that the larger scale guys are talking about these kinds of things, because I brought up our few variations. And of course, I'll give Robert Fish credit for this one. The remote control 164 cars on some sort of a slotted track so that you can change lanes. Or the air hockey table with the cars floating on a cushion of air. That actually garnished the same interest as it does when I mention it in the HO crowd too. Everyone's like, it goes through your head. Wow, great idea. And they're like, well, how are you going to move them? Well, you move them by a puff of air. The puff of air would just move along on the circuit. It would be like puff, 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 puff. And the car would be pushed around on that cushion of air, just like the puck.
Someone asked about lane switching tracks, and I personally I'm against them because I like to go fast, and they only make them in about a 9-inch length. And if you're going fast, it's just a recipe to de-slot because there's not enough of a gradual switch, and your car will instantly just fly off. If you're trying to race, if you're not racing and you're just kind of T-jetting it or magnet traction it, having fun, you're not really hopping them up or nothing, then that's fine. A squeeze track would actually be preferred in my opinion versus a cross track. But either way, but I if you're going to race on your track, that's another piece of track you don't want to get.
Right. And I personally, I think all these vanity tracks, I think you're right. The squeeze track is really the only track you should have. I mean, if you have the cross track, I can tell you right now, the reason that I don't run a cross track is different than what Scott just mentioned, but Scott will definitely agree with me when I say that I don't run a cross track because I do not want to smash 2 cars like this together. Yeah. You know how quick you'll have a $400 night if these 2 cars collide and the shells break in half? Not a chance.
Or a couple of nice Vipers that you're racing that you put bodies on, and
my gosh, 2 Vipers collide at full speed. No, that's let's just say that's expensive.
Yeah,
So,
your wallet won't like that little 9-inch piece of track anymore.
That's right. So where are we here? Yeah, there's a few people in the comments who have had the TCR. Let's see here. Had a TCR when I was a teenager. Went back old AFX. Yeah, well, TCR cards.
The
just went
dude
right
brings up another good point there too. They're hard on it.
Yeah, that's just like what you were saying, Scott. They all slung to the corner.
Yeah, I had the super speedway, the big bank turn TCR when I was a kid, and that only lasted about a week, and it stopped working, and my parents didn't know what was wrong with it, and I'm sure they took it back. But it was a cool concept. I remember seeing that commercial and saying, I have to have that. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. And, when I go to a lot of the shows, I've only seen that box set at one show in 4 years of me going to these shows around the country. So that might tell you something. They don't work too well.
Oh no, Tom, that it's all good. We knew what you were talking about, so we're not going to call you out. No, you're good, man. Robert was right. If they made a 15-inch track, I'd be willing to try it. But at the speed that my cars go, I still would never use it because, I mean, they can barely stay on a bank corner. What makes me think they're going to handle wide open that switch? They're not, So
That's right. Okay, so
hanging on the wall, I guess.
Robert seems to think I'm going to be installing a cross track on my track. The answer to that, Robert, is a big fat no. In fact, you know what? I'm wrong. I should install a cross track on the drag strip. That's a joke. All right, so here we got Adam. Adam Hurt. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. I'm back from the Richfield Slot Car Show this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah. I'm pretty tired. I could feel it in my legs today when I woke up, but I'm here tonight, and I'm excited to be here.
Awesome, man. And you know what? I want to thank you, and I'm sure a lot of people in our community want to thank you for running your live stream this weekend.
Yeah, I wish I could have done more. There was just so many people in there Sunday. You guys kind of saw when I would do like a kind of aerial type view, and I mean you're shoulder to shoulder with people in there, and it's kind of tough. So, but hopefully we got a little bit of footage where people can see that that's a great show.
Oh, brother, you did an absolutely fantastic job, man. From my point of view, I was just happy to be along for the ride, and I'm sure a few more people are probably much of the same.
They had over 500 people walk in that door, not including vendors.
Yeah.
500
Fantastic,
people.
Right? Yeah. And you see, as a Canadian, unfortunately, I rely on you guys to do these types of things, so that because I won't be there. I mean, I could plan to be at Richfield, but I mean that would be next year. I certainly
that'd be awesome. We'd love to have you.
Right? Yeah, you know how many times I thought about walking through the crowd, that entire crowd, literally pushing people out of the way while I have like some total dude, call me even a cracker, holding the camera while I'm pushing people out of the way with the lights on and everything, and I'm coming through handing out Slot Valley Racing cards. Hey everybody, hey, Slot Valley Racing, hey. And I'll be like, hey, did you check my shirt out?
Well, hey, it'd be really cool to have you there. They had people from Great Britain, they had people from Canada, they had people from California, so Georgia. I mean, there was a lot of people from all over the world. So that would be a real cool thing for you to come down and hang out for the weekend.
Yeah, Adam gave me some bad news that PTT wasn't going to make it to Missouri like I was all excited to see. Me and Matt were going to go up there, and Matt was going to get to interview Brian, and I was going to drag Adam around. We were going to do a live stream, trying to keep each other from spending too much money, and that just all got blown up.
I would have loved to have been there, but Brian kind of dropped that bombshell Sunday, and I get it. Like, so this weekend we'd have to be in Missouri. And if we did Richfield, Missouri, then Highland, Chicago. A show is not this coming weekend, the weekend after, and then the weekend after that is the New Jersey show, I believe. So
I think the mayor put it in there the 14th or 19th or something.
Yeah,
it's in the chat.
So it's like 4 straight weekends of going away. So I get it. So,
Oh, yeah.
and that's the furthest one too. So that would be kind of hard to do. So, but maybe next year we can get to that, or springtime if they do a spring show.
Yeah. Well, like I said, if you guys don't make it my way, then we're gonna try to road trip to somewhere in Ohio, because that's about as close as you guys get, or maybe Illinois if you guys get over that way. So.
You got a place to stay. Come on in.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt there, but you were talking about the shows, and my heart was broke whenever he sent me that, telling me they weren't going to be there, because I was so looking forward to getting to share my first show with everybody and PTT and stuff. So,
for me, Mayor, I looked it up. It's 18.5 hours to drive there.
Wow, it's a long haul.
Yeah. So,
but no, Dan, I'm excited. I'm excited to be here, and it's cool to see the different types of tracks that were, pre my time, my era, and now, and just seeing all that model, the Aurora stuff there, and the guys still have all the original boxes, and but the track has evolved over time. That's for sure. So it's gotten a little bit better, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Slot car misfits of all sizes. In the show description, these fine creators are linked down there. So I was kind of lazy last week, and I was kind of hoping everybody would travel towards these fine people here. But as we all have better things to do, and we do, now I've made it easy for everyone. So if you can't click your mouse button at least once, well, how the hell did you just get here?
Yeah, I call that the easy button. It's so easy to do. Just click it. Come on.
That's right.
I mean, if you can move a finger, you can click a button.
Right.
That's right. And you're here, so it's all good. All right. So that's there. Okay. So Adam, tell us what you got there. What am I looking at in front of you?
This track here is a super AFX Super International that I got from Pro Tinker about a month ago. It's I forget how many feet. I want to say it's in the 36 range. I want to say, but I did have to add a few pieces to it just to make this layout that I have here. But the catch fences are AFX products. I have a bunch of those all the way around my track. But I do like AFX. I have a bunch of Auto World tracks. And I notice a difference to each other? It's so much slightly, but they do. They're very comparable, I think. But I like the AFX. I like the red on the track more so than the white. So I went with the red. But the AFX track it's great. They make a great product, and all the guys I watch on your channel and the Discord. You guys kind of pushed me towards that AFX, so that's why I kind of lined up with them. Yeah,
well, that's okay. So what brought you to this design? What were you considering when? Okay, so you bought the biggest slot car set that's available
for 4-lane. Yes, yep. So I'm kind of like I took Scott's thinking there. I like speed. I have a 6-year-old too, so I didn't want to make it too technical for him, like Scott said, having a bunch of S's. But I wanted to have a few turns in it to make it challenging enough for myself and for him. But I try to. This is a 4x8 sheet of table, and I try to maximize as much of the table with the track. This is my 2.0 version. The 1.0, I kind of wasted space. So I said, well, I'm going to add some more straights to make it bigger on the backstretch and in the middle. And I'm glad that I did that. So I do have a few of the AFX track clips on the turns where kind of the car might want to push the track away to pull the joints out a little bit. You do have that every once in a while. But other than that, the track is held together great. It looks pretty cool. And it's just evolving here in the last month or so.
Okay, so it sounds like we have some new people here in chat who are trying to decide what set is right for them. Adam here now. Adam is what you would call no spring chicken. He may have just bought his first AFX set, but Adam's had his grubby little fingers, or at least that's how I look at everyone's fingers, grubby little fingers, all over all of the brand new slot cars because Adam actually had the advantage of being able to look, touch, and not purchase. So for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, of course, Adam used to help out Brian and Ryan at ProTinkerToys.com. So Adam got firsthand knowledge and got to touch and look at all the slot cars before you guys got them. So if there's any pizza smudges on them or, candy wrappers.
Donuts. Yeah, glazed donuts.
Donuts.
Goo gone.
Yeah, Goo gone.
Any icing flakes in the bottom of the box or anything like that.
Cookies, Twinkie crumbs, things like that. You know where those came from.
Exactly. So, and that would be considered lucky, and you would probably have to pay a tip for that. So,
Yeah, that's right. But no, I have been fortunate to be. I'm 2 hours from Pro Tinker. It's still a little bit of drive, but it's worth it. I make a day of it usually. And you're right. If I didn't live that close, there's probably no way I would have as much as I have, to be honest with you. I've been able to, start a really good friendship with Brian and Ryan and Daniel and Brian's brother Tim when he was there. So, and Mac. So I'm kind of part of the family, to be honest with you. I've been there for New Year's Eve when they do their big New Year's Eve bash, and they invite me in their home. So I have been lucky and fortunate to see these cars up front, up in person, up close in person, and help out and know what's coming sometimes. And it does make it easier. It might sound like, oh, that's so awesome, but that can be really expensive too, because when you're there, you're like, oh, I gotta have this, and when you're on your computer looking at something, it might not be as tempting. So when you're there, and then you got that Brian right here, oh, you gotta have that. It's great, and it's hard to say no sometimes. So.
Yeah, exactly.
And then this blonde 5 foot 100 nothing comes. She's on this side. She's not there, but you better not buy that. So.
Dale's got a really good question there. Adam, did you or Chris, either one of you guys, screw your track down? I know that I did.
I did. Yep. With a big hammer.
So you use nails. Okay. So I use the what they call like the little number 4 trim screws.
Trim screws.
Yeah.
And then I used the countersink to open up the hole so I could countersink the head. And then I used a Sharpie to color up the head of the screw.
Well, thank you, Scott. You just gave me version 3 of my track. That's what's coming next then. I'm doing the same thing.
For me, I used, in some places, I used finishing nails. Now, I can tell you right now, that's wrong. Don't do that. The reason
that's why I use the screws, because you can take the screws out and then move the track and change your layout if you want to. You're locking it down, which helps it stay in one place. But then if you want to change it, you just screw it away.
The problem with the finishing nails is over time, because I'm in a cold climate. So in the winter time, the track freezes, gets colder, and in the summertime it gets warmer. And you're right, Scott. Driving a car down the track and hitting one of those pins, bam, and well, there goes a nice shell. So
you pray it was an Auto World.
It actually was so all good. Now, Travis, if it was something like like one of these, right?
Oh yeah, that would upset me.
Oh man, I'd be horrified. I'd probably smash something with a hammer. All right. So let me see where we're at. AFX lane spacing. Okay, there we go. We'll get into that in a second. The dude just brought up we've had this conversation in Discord a few times. So these are the kind of conversations that we're having on the regular behind the scenes. just with everybody. Nobody's anything special. We're just all sitting around, much like this, except we're not recording it. So what we got here is a really good question. Yeah. What do you have to say about that, Scott?
Okay, so I got two opinions on that. I love the fact that the Tyco lanes are spaced farther apart so your cars can't touch. But then there's a flip side. With the yin and there's a yang. And the bad part about that is you're putting your car closer to the edge of the track, which means if you like drifting or sliding at any at all, you're putting it in a really bad position to where it's just going to want to go ahead and fly off the track because you don't have as much on the side as you do on an AFX. And I honestly think that's why they put theirs closer in to give you that little bit of room so your car could slide and still stay on the track. I wish, honestly, they'd kind of marry them both. And Slot Car League of Champions did a great example of the lane thing and how, if, like a Marshawn, it would be like if AFX and Tyco got together and had a kid. That would be ideal, why they hooked up and the way the lane spacing was and stuff like that. But still, like I said, the track itself is still the same width. So you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. You're either going to be close together with your cars or you're going to be close to the edge. So it just picks on which one you want.
Okay, so how about this, Scott? Knowing what you just said and what you know about the track, do you think it's possible that AFX changed where the lanes are to allow a little more room for their snap-on fencing? You know how there's that little tab that actually sits on the track?
They've always been narrower width than Tyco. Tyco track has always had wider lanes. It's nothing that either one have always switched.
Right.
So whenever you get an adapter track, if you get one of those little 3-inch adapter tracks, you can see where it's kind of angling.
Yeah, yeah.
To do
That's
that.
Weird, but it sure gives you a good vision of it, though, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I don't know that they did that specifically for those rails per se, because back at the old Aurora AFX track, they actually had slots on the top of the track. The guardrail slid down into. Yeah. And then they got rid of those and went to the clips. And then some of the tracks, they wanted to use up all those old ones with the push-in rails, so they mixed them up.
Right. Okay, so one of our guests has now arrived. So everybody, welcome Matt from pardon me. Please welcome Matt from Patriot Hobbies. If I had to go to the Catalina wine mixer, I'd certainly be bringing Matt with me. Here we go, brother. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Matt.
Hey guys, how are y'all?
Good. How are you, bro?
Good, doing good. I've come back from the land of teenage girls, so I'm in one piece. So
it's a good thing we know what you're talking about, because if someone just walked in and heard you say that, I'm just saying.
Well, when you got this giant gymnasium with nothing but gymnasts and girls, and the parents are all up there, and you show up with your racing shirt and your Ricky Bobby shirt.
So you're saying the racing and the testosterone and the estrogen weren't a good mix. So
I always feel very timid, and I just kind of try to keep my head down.
Well, yeah, kind of like they would feel if they were at a racetrack. So it goes both ways,
Yeah, well, my daughter's always, "Don't embarrass me, Dad. Don't embarrass me."
Okay, that's awesome. All right, so Matt, we're just going on about right now what everyone's doing track-wise, why they chose the set they did, and why they chose the layout, and why they put it where they did. So far, Scott and Adam have given us the rundown. We're just about to hit up Chris here momentarily.
Patricia has a very good point. I wish they did. You can buy, Patricia, in case you didn't know, and anybody else that didn't know, they do make borders like that for the 132nd and the 124 scale for HO, and you can buy those at Viper Racing.
Yep. I saw those today.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us today at Slack Valley Racing. I want to thank all my subscribers. I want to thank everybody for watching. Maybe if you're watching and you're not a subscriber, you can help out, hit that like button, and subscribe on up. We have a lot of new releases coming, and you're not going to want. So I'm sitting here thinking, how can I make a bell notification video that viewers will actually want to watch?
You're gonna want that cowbell.
Did he just say cowbell?
I gotta have more cowbell.
It's not a cowbell.
I could have used a little more cowbell.
All right then, hit the cowbell notification button so you don't miss any of my up and coming content.
So I hope you guys take heed of what you just seen, and maybe slap that like button around a little bit, and definitely hit the subscribe. So while we're here, let's talk to Chris from Southern Slot Racing and see what he's got for us. So Chris, what I know for everyone who hasn't met Chris, Chris is the curator of Southern Slot Racing here at YouTube. He's a member of mine, and I want to thank Chris for that right off the hop. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. Chris is new. He's pretty green. Not new to the world, mind you. Of course, I always say, because some people need to be reminded that it's not his first day here on Earth. He's obviously a well-established human being, and he's got a great idea. He's known what he wants now for a little while. I remember when he first let me know that he was going to be making videos, and pretty pumped. I'm pretty pumped about everybody making videos, and I'm always liking to hear what people's ideas are, because behind the scenes there are so many ideas, and it's absolutely awesome. So, Chris, why don't you tell us what kind of track you got, why you configured it the way you did, and why you put it where you did?
I will. To begin with, though, I'll just say Dan's video on how to start a YouTube channel is how I got started. That's what motivated me to get started in the hobby.
Nice.
HO scale. I've been looking at slot cars for months, and was looking at the 1/32 scale. I was looking at a Carrera 1/32 digital set. I just don't have a lot of room to put one in, and I started with the Carrera Go set just as a kick around, and ended up buying my first real set was the Super International, and it's like 25 linear feet of track. I've got a 4x8 piece of plywood, 1/2 inch. I've got a really thin low pile carpet. It's from Home Depot. It's like $24 for 6x9 piece, but it's very low pile, and that's what I have down as a noise barrier too, just sitting on top of a folded table. And Fez, I know I've been watching the comments, and you've been asking, we've been talking a lot about the big sets, but let's see if we can get it. I'll put it there. The Infinity Raceway set is a great starter set. And it's about 8 feet of track, get 2 cars. And I really wasn't jazzed about the cars, but now that I've been running them, they're kind of my favorite cars right now. But what I did is I took that Super International set, and it's just me and myself that's racing. I don't have a club or anything locally, and all my kids, I've got 5 kids from 37 to 17, and mostly girls. So they're one of them's kind of interested, and the rest of them are not. They could care less. But I did a 2-lane set out of the a build, and it's more of like a horseshoe, a U, and I put a few little curves in there for a challenge. But I wanted the long straightaways so that I could run flat out hard, and then slow up just for the corners. So that's kind of my take on it. I did with the Carrera Go. You've got the cross, and that starter set, it's got the cross hatch piece. I found that pretty challenging, and my grandson loved it because running cars together, and that excited him. I don't know if I want to do that on an AFX set with one of the collector cars, running them into each other. But I also I haven't got it set up. I'm still demoing it. I've got the Auto World drag set, the Legend set, and I'm putting up a 13-foot drag strip where my HO shelf layout was. And that's coming down, and I'm in the process of demoing it and putting up the drag strip because
Oh yeah. We got another one.
Whoa!
We got another
All
one.
right.
We got another 4-gear hook.
Yeah.
and the dragsters.
Oh sweet.
Yes.
And
Nice.
that's the part I guess that I found being new to the hobby is how to satisfy the collecting part, because that gets out of hand very quick.
Oh,
and running the cars.
well, look, it gets so out of hand for Scott that he has to sell stuff so he can buy more stuff.
Yeah.
That's right.
See, I started out, I know nobody believes me by looking at my room, but when I started out, I told the guys that race over here, I said, I don't care about collecting cars. All we're going to do is race. I couldn't have told a bigger lie in my life if you
No
look in this
kidding.
room. So
Wow, look how big of a liar you are.
yeah, if I was Pinocchio, the nose would keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, right?
The pro stocks.
Oh, sweet. Greg
crap.
Anderson.
Are you is that a fish?
No, it's Greg Anderson.
Summit.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the Summit one, yeah.
And then the jigs that you've been
Yeah, there you go. Coughlin.
Yeah. I need the white and blue jigs. Scott, if you had come across that one.
I mean the white and blue Mopar?
Isn't it a white and blue jigs?
You mean that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Mopar.
Yeah, that's the Mopar one.
Oh
Yeah.
no, that's not the one. It's Jegs it's a white and blue Jegs.
Oh, I don't have the white and blue, but I got the regular yellow.
Let me go
jigs.
look at my case real quick.
Oh, that's
I'm
nice.
sure
That
Scott's
goes with
got
the
it.
semi, hey?
Yeah.
I know Scott's got it.
And then this is Tim Wilkerson, funny car.
Oh,
cool.
that's nice, man. Yeah, I've been looking at that one actually quite a bit recently.
And I know they're Auto World, and everybody's got an opinion about Auto World, and these are just collectors, and I won't run them just because these are, I think, 2007-ish, and we can get some. This is a 71 Racing Camaro, and it says 1 of 500. It just doesn't tell you which number it is,
Oh.
but it's chromed out Camaro.
So what year is the 4-gear from, Chris?
I think these are 2007, if I'm not mistaken. I can't find a.
What does the number say? It looks like a date. Tell me what the date says.
15, 11, 10 CH. I don't know what that is, but the item number is 00182.
It's
I
from
think that was November 15th.
November 15th,
Oh,
2010.
gotcha. And then
Yep.
this Jegs one, I guess, is 2012, 250912.
Yeah, 2012, yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, I definitely wouldn't run any of those, man.
Yep. And
Anything past
here's
12, I wouldn't run.
2012 John Force.
Yeah, don't run
Let me get
that.
the John, no, here's the John Force one.
I mean, you can do whatever you want, but
I'd run them all. Run them all.
Yeah, burn them. But
Okay, so I got both the jigs up here for you.
Oh wow.
I knew he did. I knew he did.
And,
okay.
I don't. These are the only two
Oh,
jigs that I know of. Oops, sorry. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, the black one, and then there's this blue
Okay.
one.
and
So
the
then
blue
it
one.
must have been a blue and white Mopar. That doesn't make sense, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
That's
one
the-
he was showing you earlier.
That's the one. Oh yeah, that's
So this would be like the sister car to
Yeah.
this one.
yeah, that's it. That's definitely it.
Oh, that's
Robert, are you still here? Is that the car, the white one? It was Robert who showed me a picture of it. Maybe that is it. Yeah, I like those.
These are the Snake Mongoose.
Yeah,
Versions.
they're nice.
It's Alan Johnson is this one, and then this one would be Jeg Coughlin.
Yeah,
Yep.
man, I love that car. Oh,
And then
man.
this is kind of their bland one, if you ask me. It's just yellow and black, but that's Jeg's colors. So
Well,
Yeah,
This, I'll tell you a funny story about this Jegs when, because I live in near Atlanta, Georgia, and the big dragways commerce is out where the big drag strip is. And my son, he was probably middle school and we went out to the drag race, and this car right there was on the line, and he went down to the fence to get a closer look, and it ran into the wall right where he was standing.
Oh,
And my boss was with me at the time, and he found the picture online of where that car crashed, and you can see my son on the other side of the fence. So that's a memory right there.
Sweet.
And that's why I have that.
do you happen to have? Can you show one of the 4-gears, the underside of the 4-gear, Chris, please? Okay, so that's a 4-gear chassis, and of course, this one does have magnets in it. It's just like the extraction, except it's a little bit longer, one more gear. It can be used in a configuration of an extraction. Here's an extraction right here. Now, can you hold the extraction and the 4-gear side by side? So line up the back tires for me, please. Yeah, okay, here you go. So here's a good look at the length difference.
Oh wow.
It's hard to do this behind the scenes.
Is that
Yeah.
the 4-gear on the left and the extraction on the right, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the 4-gear, and this is the extraction.
So
There they go.
they both have their own ups and downs for sure.
And this is, I love Camaros, but I bought this on a whim. It's an Auto World. I just bought it for it don't stay on the track worth crap. It's too light, and it just whips around.
Yeah. All right. So okay. So where is it you have your track, Chris?
Well, it's kind of, you see the corner of it. It's just right beside. It's a very long room, and it's kind of narrow, but it's right there.
So what is your layout? What size is it?
4x8.
4x8. And do you find that's enough?
No. It's never enough.
Yeah, no kidding. Eh? Your chair's taking up room.
That's right, and that wall I can put up to 12 feet there, and so the doors can still open.
Oh, cool.
But that's the next venture, is to get I want a 3x12 from Viper. That's my goal, is to get a three lane Viper track.
A 3-lane one. Oh yeah, that's cool. Okay, so that's a work in progress, of course, right? So you bought what you wanted to start off with, and now you have obviously a bigger and badder idea in your mind, and you're just letting yourself go with it. Where do you think? What's your let's just say what's your Taj Mahal, if you will? What is your grand plan for your track?
This one is just to kind of, I guess, fiddle around and build different layouts and see what I really like. And I'm going to put my 143 up here and run the HO on there and do a video on that. That's coming up. And if you've seen my DeFalco controller video, I show you how I do the different connections so that I can change out to AFX, I can change to Carrera, and I can still use the alligator clips. So I've already rigged up the Carrera controller piece, the female piece, to go into the power base, and I'm going to try that out and do a video on that, and run HO and Carrera on that same track, just to kind of have fun, see what it does. But ultimately, is saving money to do that three lane Viper track is the ultimate Taj Mahal.
Yeah, that's
a good one to
actually
have.
a really good idea, man. And for anybody who hasn't caught it, Chris has just received the DeFalco DD505. It's basically DeFalco's HO slot car controller without the brakes. Most of us slot car users of HO scale do not require brakes. The average really does need a trigger or a controller upgrade. Is definitely what we can pretty much all agree on our panel here, that would be a definite first upgrade, should be your controller. So what Chris has here, and we'll just blow up Chris's hand momentarily, and I don't mean with dynamite.
Yeah,
Here we go.
This is my second one I got today. This is the clear handle, and I've got an orange handle one.
Nice.
All right, I'm excited. I got some of those, so I'm getting the early look on that. Boy, that looks nice.
Yeah.
It's really nice. It really is. Yeah, I was very surprised, and not to plug, but I'm plugging. Sorry. There's another video that I created where I talked about the potentiometer and not so scientific control method of pulling the trigger on both. But I did notice with the 120 ohm trigger is with the Expert. I'm using the pack, the tri-level pack, power pack. On Expert, as soon as you barely pull the trigger, you're at 19 volts.
Wow.
On the AFX 120 ohm trigger.
Yeah.
And with this, it'll start out real quick at 19, but jump down to 14 and then ease into 19 and 20. So that's you can actually have a lot of control with that. That was a big takeaway with me. And you can actually adjust the power here and here. And it's really cool. It makes a big difference.
Nice.
Dan, here's the 3D printed piece from that I got off of
that's the
eBay.
adapter.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's cool.
Cool.
Chris, was that difficult to put in? Just a quick, easy 2 things, or pretty easy to do for somebody with that controller?
I've got it plugged up to the track, but this is I just went to Ace Hardware and got this a male connector and the female connector, and I just clipped it on. Here's the alligator clips.
Yep.
And I just peeled back a little bit of the sheathing, crimped that on, and this is the female side. The male side's on the controller. So now I can still use my alligator clips. Here's the Carrera, and the AFX is obviously on there. And so that way I can change out. I'm not locked into one style. I can change out.
That's cool.
The modularity of it.
Good job, brother. Yeah.
And that came to me from doing my train hobbies. They do the similar kind of thing where you can do different adapters in ham radio. There's an Anderson power pole connector that they can slide and they'll lock in side by side. And then there's all kind of adapters. That's kind of a standard. And you could actually build into the fascia of your track. You could have a Anderson power pole connector and make one side Anderson power pole, and you could plug right in, and it's a solid connection. So thinking out, different hobbies of how they integrate with this hobby.
Awesome.
Kenny, no, I have not ran those power cards.
Okay, so before we all fall down the controller rabbit hole.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. Good products should always be mentioned, because I can tell you at any point in time, with 46 people watching, the chances are, at least if even one of them is brand new, then I can easily gear back everything so that everyone's on the same page, and we all can do the same. So if there's something, or we're getting ahead, maybe we're using too much lingo, please let us know. It's just a habit. We're used to talking with people who know the product, or at least people who deal with the product or play with it lots. So some of the things might sound weird. So if you're not sure, I'd like to say right now, I'm sorry. We're definitely not doing it purposely to sound like the cool arseholes in the high school. We just want to keep everyone on the same page, make sure everyone's all learning the same thing.
I have that philosophy. Fake it till you make it. When you hear all these acronyms and things, write them down and then go Google them or run them through YouTube, and it'll tell you exactly what it is.
All right. So Matt from Patriot Hobbies, thanks for joining us, brother. We appreciate that.
Thanks
and
for
of
having
course, anybody who hasn't subscribed to him yet, go subscribe to him right now. You've got 20 seconds starting now. Go subscribe to Matt. Hurry up. Go. You got 20 seconds. The countdown's starting. Go. Go, go, go.
Thanks for joining us today at Slack Valley Racing. I want to thank all my subscribers. I want to thank everybody for watching. Maybe if you're watching and you're not a subscriber, you can help out. Hit that like button and subscribe on up. We have a lot.
Okay, so
Well,
reminds me of that 50-second bathroom break we planned the other day, and half of us weren't even back in time.
I told you this morning that I had taken them all to the dentist, and the 4-year-old, he's still goofy. So I don't know if he's just being goofy or if it's just, they put the little thing on him, and they didn't have to give him anything, but he's goofy. So I was just checking on him.
They don't have to, but we all want it anyways. Like, no, I don't need it. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I need a little bit. I know I need a little bit. What is it? I don't know. I just need some.
Oh, those videos. Some of those videos are great.
Yeah. All right, Matt. So what you got going on over there?
We are over here slumming it with the Auto World Victory 400 wireless set.
Okay.
And right now, I started off with an 8x4 table. When I got the Victory 400, it was basically a little bit more than that. So it kind of went Frankenstein. I had hills and everything, and I kept watching Mark's Slot Car Garage as he went from simple AFX to hopper level track. And so now I have a 5x14 with room for a few more feet. And down this side here is the drag strip, the Night Under Fire, that I have pre-ordered. Right now, the Hot Wheels Airport is there currently. And then my lane length is just around, if I had these, it'd be right around 50 feet. This is actually the Glendale 50. And Scott and I have talked a couple times about making the Roval. But that's just kind of, I just like it. It's a lot of fun. I try not to break the bank. It's real easy to do when you get kind of excited and out of control, especially if you see good eBay or, you go to Lowe's at 11 o'clock at night, try to get the dang the truck set.
Yeah. Yeah. So how big is your track there? It looks pretty sizable.
5x14.
5x14. And where is it? Where's your track located?
It is in the garage. We have is that what you're asking about?
Yeah.
Okay. We have a big two stall garage, and about a year ago, we cut it in half and we put the two older boys on the other side and remodel it, add carpet and all that. And then over here, I have this side, and then over here is about another 9 feet that I'm going to eventually put a 132nd track in there.
Yeah.
We got it out again last night, and I'll probably get it out again. It just depends on if my wife's cool with it, because we'll run the whole thing out in the living room floor and just let it roll.
Yeah, that's the way to go, right? When you have the room. Mr. Slot Car, I want to say thank you. I absolutely appreciate that. Welcome back, brother. Sad to see you go, but happy to see you back. Thank you. I definitely appreciate it. Yeah. Okay. So, how are you finding that set, Matt? Tell us a little bit about the set itself. It seems we got some interested people here in the comments.
Which one? The Night Under Fire or
no, your wireless setup? Tell us.
I bought it from Tom Galloway, I think is his name. I don't know if you remember it, Scott.
Yeah, that's
And
him.
I bought it last Christmas. I get a little bit of money each Christmas from my wife, and I give each other, and then my dad gives us all some money. And I generally, for the last few years, since Pro Tinker, I've been giving my money to slot cars since about 2020, Christmas of 2020.
Cool.
But I bought it from him. I hear a lot of complaints about it, and occasionally I complain about Auto World, but I would really shudder to think where we'd all be in this hobby if Auto World wouldn't have stepped up and done some things. And I know there's some things they don't do right, but tonight, at least today, I'm going to focus on the things they do wrong. Now, one of my cars may fly off tomorrow or something, and that may be a different day. But as far as the wireless set goes, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have any complaints with it. We've never had any issues. I think it was a conversation I had with Gale Force Raceway about a year ago about controllers. And I know at some point, one way, I will eventually move into that, probably DeFalco 505 and a Genesis for the 132nd. But once again, I have to be very careful because, you know, I'm not super rich and I have 5 kids. And I'm going to be honest, groceries are about $400-500 a week right now.
Amen, brother.
That's a lot of money. So I have to be careful. I'm excited, but I'm excited about the Night Under Fire. Like I said, this set, it's never done us wrong. I know they have some upgrades they have always planned on it. I don't know what's going on with that. Adam would probably would know better since he's kind of like an adopted son of the Young family. He may know. Every now and then I try to get the question about the sensor here and the app that we're supposed to get. So I don't know.
Yeah, I really, you know, remember you were telling your parents when you were a kid, like, don't worry, I did my homework and I'm going to have A's by the end of the year and, don't, you know, wait down the line. I personally don't think it's ever going to come out. They've been talking about it for 2 years. So that's just my opinion.
I think they ran into the same thing that Race Masters ran into with their holographic pit stop. The technology is moving so fast as far as computer code writers go that they can't keep up with the new advancements and still make something new work with old stuff because they know not everybody has a new phone. So I agree with Adam. I don't think it's ever coming out.
No, I think they have way too much to worry about. I personally, gosh, you know, like they're trying to electrify even more something that's already been electrified. Okay. So now they're trying to add technology to it, which is a great idea. I'm totally for it. But like Scott just said, by the time they get around to it, we'll already be moved on to the next best thing. It'll kind of be like looking to buy a Flex Track. You know, it'll literally be like that. And you know, there are definitely lots of holographic theater, brand new ones still in the box available. But my suggestion to you is just leave them in the box and leave your dineros in your pocket because unless you like having less ducats, then you probably shouldn't be spending money on garbage. Of course, that's my opinion. Of course, we heard Scott's opinion. It sounded like he's right there, 2 garbage cans right next to each other.
There's a lot of Tyco 440X2 chassis that still need to be picked up. That's all I'm going to say. There's a lot still on the market. The Indy Slot Car League, they've been using that chassis for years and years. Yeah. It's proven.
There's so many parts out there that you almost every hobby shop carries something that is a part for a Tyco. I'm just saying. I mean, you can find something that will fit on your Tyco at almost every single hobby shop online that you want to go to. They have some small little section, but it'll always have something for Tyco.
Oh, yeah. Oh, always. And there'll always be 440 carded somewhere just because, you know, as we all know, that's the car that just goes on forever, man. As long as it's taken care of, just like your track, it should last a really long time. Yeah. So, okay. So now that we've been around the room, I'll quickly dash out why my deal with the track. Of course, mine was the International with the track pack. And I started off with the International in the Japan Grand Prix setup. And of course, it was hanging 4 feet off my pool table. So I had to reconfigure a little bit. And oddly enough, I actually had a 2-loop spiral originally. If you look at the evolution of Slot Valley Speedway, you can get a good laugh at it like I did. And then you move along. Of course, that was my idea. Of course, I'm like most of the people. I had a little bit of money at the time. As a kid, I used to love playing. And as an adult with a little bit of money in my pocket, I knew that the Infinity set was not the right set for me. Now, the Infinity set, I would say anybody should buy the Infinity set. Anybody. The best thing about the Infinity set is it's just like everything else AFX has been putting out lately. The cost of the cars in the set alone pay for everything in the set. It's AFX entry set, and if you ask me, they've done a fantastic job of this is the set they should be pushing down kids' throats. Absolutely, 100%. I think this is definitely an argument point for anyone who thinks different. But I definitely think the set that Chris is handing up right now, if you give your kids this set for Christmas, I can tell you this much: it'll be the exact opposite reaction that you would get from Ice Road Extreme.
I agree.
Yeah, no, it's, and I didn't like the cars at first by the look of them, but they hang onto the track. It's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And you know what? It's really fun. Plus those new Formula N cars is a good try by AFX to have something Euro sporty, I like to call it, because we all know they're trying to make it look like the F1s or something like that. Kind of
The Formula E is what they were modeled after, and then ironically, after they modeled them after that, the Formula E updated their designs.
Yeah. Right. So that's not surprising at all. Yeah. What do we got here? Yeah. No AW and no Auto World in Australia. Travis. That's I know Travis has a problem getting HO in Australia.
I know it costs a small fortune to ship there.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But I do notice on the back of there is a listing for an Australian company as a distributor on the back of the packaging here.
They're the ones that did the limited run of Super G Plus cars.
AJ Lehman Hobbies.
Auto World, Australia.
I saw that.
AJ Lehman Hobbies is what they're called, who owns the rights to sell stuff in. They're in Sydney. Yeah. So, yeah.
Call Brian Young. Call Brian Young. They're looking for distributors, and you know there might be somebody, a hobby store that he can get that to in Australia.
Yeah.
They probably get their stuff quicker than we would, considering where it has to come from that part of the world to get to us anyway.
Right.
That dude knows somebody everywhere.
Oh, of course he does. Yeah, for sure he does. Yeah. Yo, you make connections, you know. Oh, here we go. Here's the answer.
Say, we just got our answer.
Oh, I see. All right. Well, that makes sense, Travis.
Hey, cool. There we go.
I might look at. Oh, man. That'd be a great idea, Travis.
Yeah.
Fantastic. How's the Bauer exclusive coming, brother? I'm aching to get my very first Bauer in my hand, and I'm extremely happy that it's an exclusive by you, Travis. I thank you very much for that, and I'm totally pumped, and so is my crowd for that matter. Everybody wants to see it as much as me. Man, what does this Porsche look like? You know, we know the car, we know kind of what decals are going on it, but we don't know like the livery setup yet. So that's good. Yeah, all right.
Cool.
Coming in December. Yeah. I get to maybe end the year with it. So that would be a good way to end the year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice little holiday present in the year, yeah.
Oh my gosh, man, I can only imagine. Fantastic. All right, so okay, so Scott, I seen you had the controller in your hand. Can you tell us which controller that was you had there?
Yeah, someone had mentioned in the chat that they were bragging on the OS3s, and that's what I have, the one-stop slot shop. So like where the DeFalco has that big board that's sticking up out the top and everything else, this is more inside the controller itself. That has the same knob right here for sensitivity. And the big difference between this entry-level model of the OS3, they call this the HO Lite, and the difference between it and the DeFalco is that I've read is that the OS3 has what they call 40 wipers, which are those little blades down there. In there, yeah. See, there's 40 of those in there, and I think the DeFalco only has like 20 to 30.
Oh, I see.
So this one's even more sensitive than a DeFalco, and it comes with a brake already for the same price as what a DeFalco does. So that's why I really like these, but I still want to try the DeFalco, like I said, just to, compare apples to apples. But that's why I really push this one, is because it comes with all the bells and whistles, costs less, and it's actually got more features that you pay for extra at other places. So
Right. Travis, are you still here? And if you are, can you tell us what controller you use, if you don't mind? While we're waiting for that, base default.
oh, see, well, there you go. So the base OS 3 has more than the DeFalco by a lot. And just so you guys, in case you're wondering why I'm talking about the bands are what actually, the wiper that goes across there. Yeah, see that little arm moving?
Yeah.
Okay, so the more bands you have, the more sensitive it is. So you can barely move it and get your car to go more at a more of a controlled speed. The less bands, the more you pull your trigger, the more the faster the car is going to go. It's not going to go as slowly. It's going to zing forward faster.
Right. So you're saying, so what you're saying then is the one with more increments, you're able to gauge your speed much more accurately.
Yeah.
The 18 sort of gets you in the game, but doesn't make it very precise. Okay, I get it.
So so the more you increase it, the more trigger response you're going to have. And so when you play with that sensitivity, because like the DeFalco, it's got the same knob. It's just it's not external on the case. It's right there on the side, on the top here. Yeah, it's right there. So you can control the sensitivity with those wipers with the way you're pulling the trigger itself. So believe me, you start tuning your controller, and then you pick up another controller that's not been tuned, and you can't drive. It's insane. I didn't realize that until I got a controller that you can actually adapt to how you want to pull the trigger. And that makes a huge difference on how you drive your car.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's night and day. It's extremely important. These things that we do for our hobby, like it really doesn't matter what size you are. It's absolutely all about how much fun and how much enjoyment you get from it yourself. Of course, we all sit here, and the moment someone mentions slot cars or holds up a nice looking car, we all light up like like the Teletubbies in the morning when the sun comes up. Come on now, we've all seen that, right?
Is that the dentist boy there? Is that the dentist one?
And some of us are still living it, Matt and Adam.
Yeah.
So in the end, we pretty much came to the conclusion that your first upgrade should definitely be a slot, your new slot controller, and your second update should definitely be power, depending on how you go about it. Let's see, what does...
Not a problem. That's why we're here, is because between all of us, we should know an answer. And if we don't, we all know somebody that probably does. And that's why we all did our channels, is to help grow this community and grow the community knowledge. So thank you for reinforcing that. That just lets me know that we're on the right track. So thank you.
Right. And the dude, I want to thank you for asking this. This is, I would say this is the question of the night. This is probably the smartest question we've heard all night, and you're absolutely correct. Of course, on Discord, we've whipped over this already a few different times, a few different ways. Everybody seems to have their angle on this, but in the end, you're right. We're talking about, we've just jumped, okay? And the jump we've just made was from your normal controller that you get with your set to... we've jumped right into your first private, I want to say lower end, not low end by any means, but this price-wise, this is the low end of the price, not the function, okay? This is the start of your high end of the function, okay? So start of the high, but money of the low. Okay, so here we are. So in between that, you're in between your set controller and your ones like the DeFalco, pardon me, and your get that right, and what Scott has, the OS3. So in between that, there's a bevy of controllers. I've DS is one of them, as Mark has put here in the comment section.
They're kind of pricey too. The one that I personally recommend is the base Parma.
Yeah, base Parma. I also would suggest you go buy one of those $30 orange AFX controllers with the side knob on it. It costs. I personally have reviewed this one just because I really enjoyed it. I think it was made in 1974, and I can tell you right now, it functions like it was made yesterday, and not made yesterday by Auto World or AFX. Made yesterday by a real company like AFX Aurora, who really built some good stuff. So, of course, I reviewed that one. I've reviewed another one. I own the what do they call that? They were from Japan. The Speed, it's got a little steering wheel and a little turbo button. I can't remember.
Some of the old Tyco ones or the old AFX ones?
Tyco ones.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's I find them really good because of the dial, but really it's in, like I say, it's in that in between area. But I do, of course, always wish that I would have bought more than just one when Brian had a. Brian says to me, "Yeah, I got 9 left." I'm like, "Well, I only need 1." Oh boy, that was stupid. But we learn as we move along. Just like I'm only gonna buy one DeFalco controller, and I know I should buy 2, but I'm only gonna buy 1 for now. So I can only hold 1 controller in my hand, and my wife doesn't want one quite yet, but she's gonna get a purple one. So who we got here on your lap there, Matt? Is this Future Racer, brother?
Yeah, this is Kobe. This is the one that penned the Racing Is Life, a year or so ago.
Nice.
And for him, I just want to say this controller's fine. And for anyone, whatever controller you have, as long as you're having fun, that's the important part, you know?
Yeah.
And because I certainly understand the old expenses thing. It can be expensive. And you want to go out and you want to get, if I had my way, I'd have the drag strip and I'd have Carrera digital and I mean, I'd probably have a slide from my roof to the pool if I could, but you know,
I think we could all keep the slot car manufacturers in business if money wasn't an option. I don't, and there's several things that I'd love to have too. So I'm right there with you. I don't think it matters on your income. We all want it all. I mean, we're just big kids.
Yeah.
And my first set was the generic one that he doesn't even sell it anymore, but that generic set. I bought 2 at the same time because I wanted to see which one I liked, the 132nd and HO, and I like them both.
Is that the ones that he was making for a little while? I know he had his own layouts. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. And I think he still does the HO one. I don't think he has anymore the generic 132nd. Like, here, let me show you something. Like when I bought the 132nd, it came with these Opal cars.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I got to where I liked it, I enjoyed it. And then I think the Scooby-Doo van was the first van we had, and we ran that around that generic track, and then we bought more, and then we bought some AFX, and then last Christmas I bought the Victory 400 and the Le Mans set before it went out of production.
Now he does have a bunch of the Le Mans sets too, back in stock. So if you need any, jump on that.
I like those. So,
yeah, they're nice. I have one. They're great.
Yeah. And I'll say this again. But I'd like to buy what's that new super stock speedway one, Adam, with the Superbird?
Oh, with the Petty, yeah.
And the Wing Warrior.
I mean,
yeah.
Especially if you're getting into this, You could buy
That's
that
what I would
set,
buy.
You get 18s, you get two good cars, you get a tooling that's never been out. And that's a good set. I want to buy that. I probably won't be able to because I want to buy the Breeze set. I've already pre-ordered the Night Under Fire, and so.
Oh my! We were talking about the Breeze set for a little while too. Raul was asking me what's exciting up and coming for HO, and immediately I think we're all waiting for the Breeze set right now, man. That's really those two cars are. When Danny took those two cars out of the package on the live stream this weekend, oh my gosh. Wow, man. Pull my tongue up off the floor and scrape the dust off the bottom because, wow, man. Those are some, finally, all I got to say is finally, right?
Anybody?
How long have we been waiting for a total sponsored set? And I don't mean, the Mystery Machine and the Batmobile,
Right.
Or Christine.
Or where's the Knight Rider and
Kid.
and the Time
Hey, those
Machine?
look familiar.
I don't have.
Hey, there it is. There's Christine.
Yeah.
No,
This
that's
was
not-
a freebie for the drag strip. Brian had, if you bought the
Nice.
set, he threw two cars in. So I got Christine and I got the little
Nice.
Chaparral.
Oh,
You know what's funny, Scott, is you know how many people were asking for that red Christine at the show this weekend? Boy,
No, it's part of the silver screen series, and you got to have that one to complete the series if you're a collector. I mean,
that is a hard one to get. I bet you there was a dozen people.
that's on my wall.
Steffi was looking for that as well, I think.
These young cars run very well.
I like those, Matt. That's a good set. That's the Demolition Derby set, right?
Yeah.
I like that. That's two nice T-Jets right there.
Yeah.
And not to mention they have the livery on them is very specific to people that Brian knows.
Yes. Well, and it's even got, correct me if I'm wrong here, Adam. Where is it? Is this you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Adam's
See it where it says Adam's Meat? What does it say, Adam?
Adam's Meat Packing.
Good. I was going to have to get my daughter in here to read it for me.
Yep. Yep. Adam's Meat Packing. And the other one's Tim's Art Studio. And I forget the guy's name that he put on the trunk.
See you, Dad.
Andre's Auto Repair.
Yep, that's it. Yeah. So one's the year that's the year Tim's born, and then 59 is the year Brian was born.
Right.
Yeah, that's their birthdays.
Yep.
Very cool cars. I like them.
Yeah.
I sure do miss Tim.
Yeah, he was fun on the show.
Hey, Matt, I got a question for you. I think you posted it. If you're a first-time buyer from the Auto World website, do you get a special discount?
Yes, sir.
Because I was thinking about pre-ordering that Breeze set from the Auto World store if I could get that discount.
Yeah,
But
you
I'm
get
trying to
free
work
shipping
out-
too, over $100. So I think if it's your first order, you get 10 or 15%, Matt, and then if it's over $100, they'll ship it for free.
Oh,
Wow,
well.
nice.
Yeah. And
Yes.
while
I think if you just go on and it'll do that little pop-up window. It'll say, hey, if you kind of like does.
It's automatic. As soon as you go to their webpage,
Yeah.
it stops you right where you're at and puts in that shadow box telling you to sign up for your free discount, and they'll send you an email to put the code in when you check out.
But
I'll have to pre-order that Breeze set and this coming at the end of the month.
I think Tinker was saying they would offer a very similar set if you were. I don't know if you're a member, a Tinker member, but I think you might get the same type deal from him.
Yeah.
Adam can correct me.
Probably, yeah. You would at least. I think they're doing something close. It might be coming up to 15 or 20% here around that time frame for club members.
Because I know
things keep going the way they're going. Brian keeps wanting to give away cars every time I show up on their live stream. So
Right.
stick close to me. Call me when you want to go to Tinker's live stream, and I'll make sure that Brian knows SBR has entered the chat box. And then you can just wait for Brian to go cuckoo bananas and come up with some great car sale.
Yeah.
5 for 1 was the last
Hey.
thing I heard. 5 for 1, they're supporting a Mexican family.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I remember that. That was Danny who said that.
Those
Yeah,
VR
Roxy was like, come on.
those BRE cars, I held them in my hand in person this weekend, and I must say they are the nicest cars Auto World has maybe ever made. I'm not saying that the dragsters are the funny cars, but for a regular car, they are probably the best looking car they've ever made.
Yeah, I agree with that. Just looking at deliveries from what I can see, I'm impressed. Yeah, that's
That's nice.
nice. And that is sitting in my neighbor's yard about half the street down the back lane.
This was one of those original Magna Tractions that had the sound box in it.
Oh, it had the speaker box or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yep. This is, like I said, this is I've owned this one. I got this as a gift from Santa. Wink, wink. So.
Oh, nice.
I've loved these little Datsuns ever since. I had to take out the little sound thing because that thing gets annoying after about 2 laps.
What year? Is that 78 or 77 that they put them out?
Somewhere in the late 70s, because I remember seeing the commercial on TV and telling my parents, I hope Santa gets me one of those. And there we go.
Well, we were talking about the trucks last week, and I was skimming through all those 70s mag catalogs. That's when I ran across them and realized the Breeze set had technically already been out by AFX in the late 70s.
Yeah, they did a lot of licensing back then. Like with the racing, the history of it. I'm not going to say it and repeat it, but yeah, no, they did a lot of stuff that was a lot of which I wish they would do again, and that is get real race car drivers and involved with the racing. It's just a natural fit, and I don't know why they got away from it because, like I think the mayor said, I grew up watching AJ Foyt and Stewart.
Stewart, yeah.
And I remember seeing them in Buddy Baker sometimes and stuff like that. Seeing them on my boxes, you know what I'm saying? And then commercials with Jackie Stewart. There's his name.
Jackie Stewart, yeah.
Best William.
So I'm just saying, I miss those days of commercials, and you've nailed it out of the park when you said that Infinity set's a perfect get up. And I wish, honestly, that Auto World and Race Masters would both do a commercial for Saturday mornings or Christmas time that showed just that set. I honestly think it would be amazing the amount of growth it would do if they just put out one commercial with one set during the holidays and what it would do for the hobby.
I absolutely agree, man. They both should concentrate on their entry-level set and don't include a semi in it. Just include a car.
Yeah, no, putting those semis in there is the worst. I agree 100%. That's the worst thing you can market towards a first-time buyer of a slot car track ever, because they're going to get that track and they're going to get pissed off and they're not going to want to do it again. I mean, it's
now I will tell you, they did a semi race at the show this weekend.
Oh, I heard it while I was working on my track, Adam, and that was great. It was all flat and it was nice and stuff. But
the new Mayflower is a totally different ride than any other one they've ever made. It went around the track. That's the one that was hands down one. And I got 2 of them, and I've messed with one, and I can't believe how well it stays on the track compared to the other ones.
That is awesome to hear.
Yeah.
And then if I remember, like I said, I was catching the live stream before the races on Thursday night off and on, and I saw Brian because he was mentioning Dan about the trailer, and he flipped over a Tyco trailer and he flipped over an Auto World trailer. And there's the perfect example of why we need the wider mount for the rear tires on the trailer. I mean, it's not rocket science. Look at what they did. It worked.
And the pin, they showed the pin into the semi, and then they showed the pin into the old ones, and then or the Tycos. They show the pin into the new Mayflower, and there's a big difference there from the trailer to the hooking up. It does stick with it. If it doesn't, it just falls off. The pin was too small on some of the old ones too, though.
That is correct too, Adam. I absolutely agree with you there. If you look at the pin slot on the Aurora trucks, the pin is skinnier and it's longer.
Mm-hmm.
And then for some reason, listen, if you guys haven't heard my podcast about the Auto World trucks and trailers, then please give yourself a few minutes so that you can figure out what's going on and what we're talking about. You don't need to take our word for it. I've pretty much done all the work for you already. if you listen to my podcast and then you watch the review I did on the KISS trailers, I explained the problem. And then if you actually look at the diagram for that specific talk that I had, the opening page is actually the diagram for the Aurora semi-trailer. And you can see that the semi-trailer only has 3 pins. The modern Auto World truck has 4. They need 4 pins. They don't have a choice. Aurora didn't need the 4 pins. They only needed 1 pin on the front of the back trailer. And the reason being was Aurora had a weight in the back of the trailer. And not only did they have a weight, but the wheel length and base was much different and correct for the size of the mount it was sitting on. These days, not so much. Now, I have a sneaky feeling that the Mayflower, I haven't seen it. Adam, maybe you could tell me this. How did the back axles look on the Mayflower?
So on, are you talking about the trailer itself?
Yeah.
Or both?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll show you here.
Oh, right on. He's got one. I forgot.
So they do move around quite a bit.
But not as much as the other ones. They don't look so long.
No, they're
still a bit of an issue, though.
We had them up to an old Tyco one, and they were just a smidge not as wide as the old ones. But the biggest difference from this truck to the older Auto World truck is they changed. I don't know if you can see it or not, but they put it, because the old ones would go down the track like this, like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And the new ones, they put the wires on the side. I can show you. You can see where it's been soldered in now.
Okay. For
And
the flamethrower instead of underneath the shoe.
correct. So now they run so much better. So much better. Now, Scott, why, and you guys tell me this, why is this part here that way and the old ones are like this?
Show it again. Show them side by side.
If I can.
Okay, I don't know. What are you talking? I don't see what you're talking about.
So is there a difference from this being like a brass to this being?
No, the rivet.
Oh,
The
the
rivet
rivet.
part?
Yeah, that's just a cost saving.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I was going to say that's a cost saver thing.
I that's why I didn't know. I just noticed that I'm looking at any difference that I see underneath it. But the biggest thing I can tell, maybe I can take this shell off. I've never taken it off, but I don't know if you can actually. I assume you can. There we go. So you can see they ran the wire to the side.
Yeah, they just copied the old original Aurora is what they did, and they should have done it in the first place. But that was thanks to Brian that they finally woke up and did it the right way.
Exactly right. He was the one that told him about that. So, but this one by far destroyed the other ones in that race. So that's a good thing because these are cool to go around the track, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just sitting on our shelves.
Yeah, and that's another thing that chokes me up a little bit too when people say, "Oh, they're not made to be raced." Shut up! It says right on the box, "Racing Rigs."
Yeah.
Come on now.
I mean, it's not that I don't want to race them, Dan. It's just that the likelihood of them being enjoyable to race the way they are is slim and none. So, you know, when they get them to where you can race them, then yeah, I'd be all about it. But right now, it'd be more of an aggravation, you know.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't. It's, geez, you know. Yeah, you see, look, trailer already.
Yeah.
I really hope that, you know, sometimes some leaves or feathers have to be shook to get some changes happening.
Right.
I hope what I did, at least I hope Brian or one of his sons listened to that podcast and somebody says, hey, These are the main issues. Of course, fixing the lights, the soldering underneath the shoe on the last runs was. Oh my gosh, that is something else. I talk about in that podcast about how Auto World has taken the patents from Aurora and, for lack of better words, shit all over everything. When you get the patent for something and you have the molds, I don't understand why you're not creating it straight across again. Everything's looser. Nothing's as tight when you put the semi-shells together. They don't even barely look the same anymore, but yet they're the same two trucks that have always been used. Always. The Peterbilt and the Astro. I cannot find, I could be wrong, of course, but has AFX ever produced another truck style?
No.
As far as I know, there's only the Astro and the Peterbilt. Now, the fronts will always be the same. It's the backs. Is it a back with a dump truck? Is it a back with a trailer? You know what I mean? Like, cheapness is a weakness, and that is correct. And when just a good example is, you go from using copper rivets to now you're just using, what was that? What would that have been? Stainless steel?
Stainless steel, probably, yeah.
It's a shame
Some
that
pot metal. I doubt it's stainless steel.
Probably,
Stainless
you're
steel
probably
is
right.
expensive. It's probably a pot
Probably
metal.
right.
Yeah,
Hey!
improvement.
Bro, I absolutely appreciate it, brother.
Likewise,
Thanks for having me tonight. I had a great time. It was fantastic, and I cannot wait to join you again or have one of my fantastic friends here join you or one of your friends.
Mike,
I absolutely
texted,
cannot wait to see you on Thursday, and I will definitely make sure we have a wise crowd to surround us and make us seem smart, Raul. That's how I roll, brother. I surround myself with smart people so that I can disappear in the crowd. So Thursday night will definitely be a good show, and so for those who don't know yet, I guess most of you do, but for those who don't, Raul from Conquest Racing will be joining me on Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central. The topic of conversation will be a interesting topic, and I'm going to leave it at that for now. Just let me know, or I'll just let me know. I'll just let you know that it's going to be good. Everything that's been happening lately in the slot car world seems to be really kicking buns, if you will. Of course, I could think of more creative words, but I don't want to get demonetized. So, when you get when you're making the big bucks, you got to be careful what you say. I'll let you know when I start making the big bucks. Screw it.
So I'm sitting here thinking, how can I make a bell notification video that viewers will actually want to watch?
You're gonna want that cowbell.
Did he just say cowbell?
I gotta have more cowbell.
It's not a cowbell.
I could have used a little more cowbell.
All right then, hit the cowbell notification button so you don't miss any of my up and coming content. Woo!
Yeah. So, hi, Adam. Awesome. All right, so we're slowly crawling up on the hour of number 2, and I don't really like to go past number 2. Personally, I think anything that needs to be said in the second hour will certainly make a good first hour in the next show. So, got about 10 more minutes. Does anybody have any questions for anybody up here tonight? Of course, concentrate your questions on the other guys. You can watch my videos and find out the answers to all that. But for these fine gentlemen here, any questions on their layouts? Any controller questions?
Good night, Slot Car League of Champions.
I have one question.
Champions.
See
I
ya.
have one question.
We got a question from the panel.
Scott, this one for Scott, and you don't have to answer if you don't want to on here. But Scott, I'm still waiting for you to send me those packages of cars that you need me to put on my wall. So that's my question for the night.
They must have got lost in the post office, man. Those were sent like weeks ago. I think we need to file an insurance claim.
I think so too.
And you've already put stuff on your wall. You have no room anymore.
I'll make room for that stuff.
But I like those.
Would.
That wall art's pretty cool, man. I like that. Like everybody else was saying, I like that, man. That's a great idea.
So there's a guy, he's on Facebook, Greg Bennett. He's one of the promoters of the show. He's got great slot car artwork and very reasonably priced. They're framed, and they are cool. And I would have bought more, and I am getting more from him. So, I brought this home. My truck was full of stuff. So,
the dude wanted to know about what we used to control racing, and what I used to do whenever I had it a 2-lane setup before I went to 4-lane was I had they make a ghost racer track is what it's called. Mm-hmm. And you can control the power in either lane. So you can set the speed on one and put the other one at 0 so you can drive it and then race against the ghost car. The only problem is once you set that speed, it stays that speed the whole time. So it's not going to take corners really fast. So you just have to set it as fast as the car can handle. And what I personally used to do, because those things only go up to 10 laps before it quits, as what I used to do is I used to give the ghost car a couple of laps head start and then try to make it a challenge by trying to catch it. So, but that's the only thing I know of running a ghost car on a track.
That's
Mine
a good
caught
idea.
on fire, Scott.
And of course, I would just suggest taping a 120 ohm controller.
Yeah.
Just tape it down as far as you want the car to go, as fast as you want it to go, and that's. But what Scott's talking about, the Ghost Racer set, is a really good set. There is an inherent problem with that one set, though, and that being the fact that it's old and it has a lot of very expensive copper, #1 copper in it, which corrodes really fast, or not corrodes, pardon me, it, someone help me out here, what's the coating? What's the coating on it called?
I thought it tarnished a little bit.
Oh, yeah, it oxidizes. So once that #1 copper oxidizes, it actually oxidizes a thick layer and will stop it from working. Now, the reason why I mentioned this, I don't own one, but I did, however, watch Brian Young tackle with one for like 45 minutes one day. And that was the problem. It worked fine, but all the contacts were #1 copper, and #1 copper gets tarnished really easy. So
mine caught on fire, honestly. Mine caught on fire using it.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Not with my car on the track. It wasn't my car's fault.
It wasn't.
Are we talking about a separate, different incident now?
Yeah.
Hey,
that's what makes it sure it wasn't the car I built.
There's not a denominator here.
Maybe my slogan should be melt some plastic, sparks and all that. Maybe that should be my saying. But yeah, mine, when I bought it a few years ago, when Brian when he first came out with that, I got one because then I didn't have to always run with my son, and he could, race against it. And we were going, he's like, "Dad, it's smoking." And next thing I know, there's a little flame coming out of it.
Oh,
I pulled the power out of it, and yeah.
So it was like deja vu when you ran my car. You should have known that smell.
I didn't see
We'll call
smoke.
you backdraft.
I'm telling you, I said it earlier. I don't have lane marshals. I have fire marshals.
Oh,
nice.
Listen here, backdraft.
So
you just found your
theme song. I thought about your theme song. I told you about the talking heads and burning down the house. Well, the Bloodhound Gang, the roof is on fire.
That's funny.
Oh my gosh, Matt! Don't forget that one, brother. That's priceless.
Oh, that's one of
your
my favorite
racer
movies.
name
I
there.
always remember that.
We
Perfect.
didn't need no water. Let that mother burn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it, right? Adam
Hey,
the
Adam, will
fireman.
you put that guy's name though? Where you said that does the artwork up in Discord later?
Yes, yes, definitely.
Thank you so
Yep.
much.
Wow.
Those artwork posters that came out, at least for this year, were really, really. I don't know what happened the last few years in the slot car world, but everybody was like, "Hey, art's important. Let's do it."
Yeah.
You know, and all the set pieces we're getting art, and it's pretty cool.
You know who was the one? That was Tim's idea to bring that back, because they used to do that back in the day. And Tim, when they went to meet with Auto World, they said, "Hey, you need to add some better artwork." And Tim showed him. He did a painting of an older set, or they brought an older set, but that was Tim's idea to bring that back. He said that to Brian, and they brought an old box. Said, "Hey, you need to do artwork more like this," and that's why the BRE set is kind of like that. I think.
That's
That's
cool.
my opinion, but yeah, I know that they brought that up to them.
Wow.
Well, and
It's like the fact that they're actually listening to somebody that has a pulse of what's going on with the HO community. I mean, they may not act as quickly as we want them to, or their quality may not be what we think is up to snuff. But like Matt mentioned, without them, we'd be stuck with just AFX, and then we would be down to maybe 6-7 cars a year,
Yeah.
plus whatever track sets they came out with. So, as much as I dog on Auto World, I am grateful that they're in the hobby, because they really help it, even though they kind of hurt it at the same time. But I'd rather have them in it than not have them at all.
Yeah. AFX doesn't listen to their consumer. They listen to what their budget says. And Auto World is listening to their consumer and their distributors. And they are making changes. And like Scott said, they can't make them all, and they might not make it fast enough. But heck, they're improving things, and that's all you can ask for.
Yep. Yeah. That's all I can, that I agree with that. And then I agree with the mayor. You need to push your own.
Yes.
Good call, Mayor.
Yeah, I like that. You know what? I'll get one at the next show next week. I'll buy one, and I'll make sure I get one with a bell, the old school ones that go around.
Oh yeah, get the Tyco US one. That's the one you want. It's called the Tyco the US one.
And that will be on the one that I got 4 lanes here, so that one will always go around one of the lanes while I'm racing.
You need that old AFX speed trap. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, with the side. Yeah, it's got the little, what they called it. Well, they used to do that for the police chase sets, and that's where you could put the police car.
Yeah.
And then that way, when the other guy drove by, then it was your goal to try to catch him.
Yep.
Oh yes, the speed trap one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And the little bushes right there on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a great idea. I thought about trying to do something like that for a pit stop, but I started running out of room. Kind of like Adam did. I started any extra space that was on my table. I was like, oh, well, there can be another piece of track there. So I don't care if I added just 3 inches.
Yeah.
I maxed it out. So I am maxed out every single way I can do it, because I wanted as much track as I could get on that table.
It's right there. I was looking for it. It's up on the shelf. I never opened it.
Oh, sweet. There it is. That's what we're talking about.
Oh, man, yeah.
Nice.
Wow, I saw one of those this weekend too. I should have got that thing.
So that's just the track, right? Just
Yeah.
the track and the
Just
trap
this piece.
part?
Yeah, it's just this piece right here. And then it comes with it. See this little mound thing? It comes with that too. Comes with that piece too.
Yeah. Trying to hide the cop behind the bushes.
Yep.
Right.
Barney Fife's waiting there for us.
Yeah, that would be cool. I would buy that in a heartbeat.
Roscoe Pico Train.
Scott, melt your own plastic.
Yeah,
it's more fun when I hear about other people, Rich. So,
that's
glad to see you here, buddy.
Barney Roscoe, that's
Someone asked in the chat earlier about AFX's truck and trailer set that they came out with back in the day, and I actually own it, and I can't remember the exact name of it, and that's why I've been trying to rattle my brain. But it's Smokey and the trucking and Smokey and the Chase. I don't know. I have to look it up, but they do have one, and I own it, but I can't remember the name of it for the life of me. It came with the AFX truck and trailer and a police car.
Oh, cool. One of
And it
those
was
cool-
themed
one of
after the if you guys remember Sally Fields and Burt Reynolds.
Of course.
Yeah, well, that's that movie is where they kind of themed that track set from, is my guess. Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh, yeah.
Great movie. Great movie.
Well, Dan, I got to get running, buddy.
Yeah, I was just about to say
Okay.
we're right at the end of 2 hours now, so we're going to shut her down. I want to thank everyone for being here. Hang tight. Matt's got something to say quickly.
Beginning of Smokey and the Bandit, they're racing semis, by the way.
That is correct.
In real life.
Yeah.
That is correct. Yeah. All right. So I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. Definitely thank you guys for joining me over at Conquest Racing. This is definitely what we need in our slot car community. And when I say slot car community, I did not say HO this time. Slot cars are for everybody, and we're all together now. If it's my number one mission, I'm going to make sure I have at least 300 subscribers of a scale that doesn't belong to HO. I think tonight went an absolutely long ways to making sure that everyone knows who everyone is. And like I said to Raul in the comments, if it's not me, I'll make sure that one other of my creator friends from the HO community goes over and enjoys a night with the larger scale guys like I did. I was absolutely lucky to have Raul accept what I had brought forward to him, and I think he was in the same category and same mindset as me, where kind of like what Travis always says, it doesn't really matter too much about what size it is. It's just the fact that we're all slot car fans. I think that's the main subject here. And as long as we all keep that in mind and help each other out along the way, we're all going to have a fantastic time, because, even coming to the part where I mentioned slot cars, and break a smile. Look at Scott. Come on now, everybody, right? Everyone smiles. You mentioned slot cars, and everyone smiles. So I want to thank everybody. I'm not going to go through the list tonight. I just want to say thank you to everyone who's in the comment section right now. And of course, once again, I'd also like to thank everybody who's not in the comment section. I want to thank you for coming out and just being a part of the crowd. You don't have to be here in the comment section to be part of the crowd. You just have to be here, and we do appreciate that. You don't have to say anything. We know you're here, and that's absolutely fantastic, and we appreciate that, guys.
Hey, Dan.
I actually want to give everyone a chance to say goodbye, so we'll start with Adam in case his controller burns his house down.
I just want to say I'm getting close to 100 subscribers, and as soon as I hit 100, I'm giving this away.
Oh! Damn!
So as soon as I get to 100, I'm at 70 right now, so 30 more, and I've gotten 6 tonight, so we'll get there real quick, I think.
You got 6 tonight.
Yep.
Good for you,
So that's what
brother.
I'm giving away.
Hey, make
At
a
100.
post, Adam, and I'll repost it on my channel.
Me too.
Okay, thank you, Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, man, no, do it, man. Like I said, we're all trying to help everybody get up those
Yeah.
goals, man. So, whatever I can do to help you guys, like Dan helped me, you
Thank
know what
you.
I'm saying, is pay it forward.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. And Slot Car Wildman, thanks for joining us. I know you're over at Rules, but we definitely appreciate it. And there'll be lots of time for you to catch up, because Raul will be with me on Thursday night, Wildman. So please make sure you join us that night. And it's going to be one good night. Boy, do I have a conversation ready to roll. I'm going to make sure I got a few interesting guests with us. So, like I said, I need some smart people to surround me so that I look as much smarter than I actually am. My smartness goes with being smart enough to know that I'm not the smartest person in the crowd. So I would have to say that's probably my superpower.
That's the smartest guy in the
Okay,
room,
so
or the guy that knows he's not the smartest guy in the room. So there you go, buddy.
yeah. So that's mine. I just want to say thanks to everybody. Scott, you want to say thanks? We'll go around the room here quickly. Everyone can say bye, and then we'll get the F out of here. Woo!
Oh, I
And
just
for
want
F,
to
I
thank
mean
you again
fire.
for having me on tonight. I appreciate it. Thank you for Chris and Matt and Adam for showing up and helping spread the wealth and your different views of getting into the hobby and the stuff that you come into. Because like Dan and I talk about, we may miss some stuff because we've been in it for a little bit. So it's nice to have the perspective of somebody that's starting out and just like I said, it's great because we can all help with that journey together, and you're not the only ones watching. So I want to personally thank you guys for showing up tonight, and thank everybody that showed up live and watched us. That's what we're trying to do in the community. So thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Scott. And I just want to say quickly, thanks to Dick's Slot Car Garage. He's a larger scale guy. Danny, I met him tonight. Fantastic. He's also, I think we're twisting his rubber arm about his HO collection too. He's got a HO in the basement, but he concentrates on the larger scale. So I think we're going to see if we can fix that for him. So yeah, that's not a problem. It's more like a re-education. All right, Chris, what do you have to say? First off, I want to say thank you, Chris. You're absolutely fantastic. I'm happy to have you here. I absolutely look forward to your numbers getting bigger too in YouTube. But like I said, everybody, just hang on, bro. It'll happen. It doesn't happen all at once, especially when you have no videos out there. The best part about putting videos out is the algorithm will find you, and once it does, that's when you're gonna wake up one morning and go, what happened? And then you try and go through your analytics to figure out what happened, because it'll show you. You just have to know where to look to find it. Yeah. So anyways, Chris.
Yep. Thank you, Dan, for having me. Thank you to all the other creators here. And thank you for everybody that's joined the live stream. I really appreciate it. It is helping my channel. It's helping me grow. And I'm new, but I'm bringing a new perspective of a beginner and getting it started in the hobby. And I'd like to briefly point out, Matt has a great video today. And I want to echo his sentiments is do you. Be in wherever you are. If you can only do Auto World, hey, do Auto World, do it and just have fun. And, we're all in different places in this hobby. And I got caught up in it with the train hobby of trying to be perfected and follow the next guy. Do you have fun? Right. And this, I have to say, this is a community here that is very supportive. And if you want to belong to a tribe or a community that's very supportive and looks out for everybody, this is the place to be. Dan, thank you for putting that together. Thank you, Adam, Scott, Matt. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks for joining us tonight, Chris. I absolutely appreciate that. And just before Matt says goodbye, I just want to say one quick thing here about Wildman's comment. Start a channel and you will get better, okay? I point you, and here's a good example. I point you back to my very first video, okay? The cornflakes cart. Yeah. You want a good embarrassment and a little chuckle? I actually pulled that one back for a while because in my first year, after my first year of video editing and stuff, when you go back to your first video, it looked like I hired a whole bunch of 4-year-olds.
I still look like I hired 4-year-olds, so it's all good.
That's right. That's right. So, like Wildman says, and like I always say to everybody too, and I'm sure you guys all heard me say this at one point in time, but videotape everything. You don't think that somebody wants to see that? I'll guarantee you get a box in the mail, and you know what? There could be a rubber turd in there with one slot car tire. And we're going to want to see that slot car tire, but most importantly, we're going to want to watch you open that box. Yep. Now, this is absolutely the truth, and if you don't think so, just do what I say and start recording everything you do in relation to HO. And you'll soon find that there's somebody out there for everybody. There's billions and billions of people on Earth now, and you can't tell me that there's not 6 people on earth that want to watch me unbox a rubber turd and one slot car tire. Right? And we're going to call it the rubber turd unboxing. And I'll bet you it's probably my biggest video I ever make. I'm going to do that. I'm gonna header a video rubber turd unboxing. We'll see how good it does. Right on. Okay, Matt, I want to thank you for joining us. Late, nonetheless, but better late than never. And I want to thank you. Absolutely, everyone's opinion matters greatly in our community. So, Matt, take it away, brother.
Thanks for letting me come on late. I just want to thank everybody that's here. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you, everybody in the Discord servers. You know, a lot of times I'm not very mechanically inclined like a lot of you guys, and I get a little imposter syndrome. So I just try to make movies and talk about what is on my mind and history. And the rest will come, you know. And as far as making video, guys, just make them. And here's what'll happen. I promise you, you'll get better. And I promise you, the video that you don't expect anything out of will be your one that blows up. You'll be like, what? And just keep going. Adam, make some reviews of those Mayflower trucks. People love them.
Yeah, shorts.
I want to say that would be what I would do. Make a video on that Mayflower, and then that way we can share the video, and that helps get your hours of view time up, and hopefully it'll get some subscribers. So
right.
Of course, too, there's also, like I said, too, Adam, when you go to make your videos, like I've been doing lately, is as soon as the car's unboxed, I'll quickly stop and I'll make a few shorts.
That's a good idea.
Put those shorts out, and that sort of gets people salivating over it. And not only that, to be honest with you guys, 50% of my subscribers now come from shorts. And when you see that Jegs shorts, Jegs Super Beast, man, stands my own hair on end. I did such a good job on that video. I hate to toot my own horn, but every once in a while, sometimes you just got to. And so that's a good example right there. I've gotten, I put it out the other day. I've already gotten 10 subscribers off it. It's very important, especially when you have trucks like the Mayflower and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So
I agree.
Yeah.
I think these cars are coming next. These will be the videos that I probably do next. So
yeah.
That'll be great.
So do like I always say, do slow roll bys, Adam, on your shorts clip. Do a couple of 15-minute shorts from different angles, and then go back to work on doing your filming. And then when you sit in front of your computer to do your editing, you'll be able to see the videos that you've loaded for shorts on your computer, and then you just add everything you need. Now, don't forget to hashtag everything. Every song you use, hashtag it, okay? Now, I don't know if you guys have seen what I've been doing, but I've hashtagged every song that I've used, and I keep hashtagging it. So it's not just like one hashtag. The first video was one hashtag. The second video, there were 2 hashtags. Now, I think I have like 30 hashtags.
The thing to do is to put them all on a word sheet or a sticky note or something. And then that way, every time you make a video, all you've got to do is just copy and paste it and put it in there.
I just copy and paste from my last short.
There you go. That's even easier. Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
So I'll make it easy. What I'll do is, of course, I'll run a few shorts, and then I'll get in there and I'll grab my last short and I'll grab all the hashtags. And those 3 videos, I'll hit up all the hashtags first. I'll hit save, and then I'll put the name in. And then, of course, I'll make them public. But that's obviously for another conversation. We can probably go on for another hour. We've already jumped 10 minutes over the 2. But we're definitely busy, and we got a lot of conversation. We definitely have a lot to talk about. But for now, Adam, any last words, brother?
No, Dan, thank you again for everything. And I'm always open when you need me. So if you need me on, let me know.
Awesome. I absolutely appreciate that. Everybody here tonight, Scott, Chris, Matt, Adam, guys, thank you. I absolutely appreciate it.
See you guys.
it's because of these interactions with creators like yourself that I think this hobby is really starting to kick ass now. Like I said, there's no sense me having
Nice.
2,000 subscribers and nobody with me. So that's why I do my best to bring everybody with me.
This is our time of year. This is when the slot car
Yep.
clubs start getting together. This is when people start getting indoors.
That's
This is
right.
when people start watching YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Snow's coming at the end of this month to a good
Right.
chunk of the United States. So now's your time to shine. If you're a creator, get your videos out there.
I absolutely agree with you because you know what? The heyday of slot cars passed, but our heyday is coming.
Yep.
Yep.
I don't think it's here yet,
Nope.
but I definitely think we're building it. I can tell you the people in this room have a big part to do with that, and that's what. And of course, the people in lots of people.
Seeing the people at the show this weekend reinforces that this is the time of year. You know, people are casual. People are coming back out of the woodwork. And I saw a lot of people or heard them asking about stuff because they weren't even in it at all. You know what I'm saying? They just came into that show for the first time. And I heard, Brian knocking off $5 off a track set for a lady. You know what I'm saying? So we're coming. Slot cars are back. And we're pretty soon, we're going to be on the cutting edge of it.
So, Mayor, great comment. I'll let you know I changed oil on my snowblower yesterday. So, yeah. I've been using the SN word lots lately because it's supposed to SN tomorrow.
Ooh. Yeah, we're supposed to get here some next week. So
Yeah,
no bueno.
all next week, 4 days in a row, it's supposed to at least SN. I don't even want to say it because I feel like I'm going to totally jinx it. But anyways, in the end, guys, thank you very much for joining me tonight. I'm not exactly 100% sure what the show will be about on Thursday, but I could see one or two of you for sure being part of that. I'm not sure who. Like I said, it's not as if I'm picking favorites. As you can see, I pick people for the shows that are coming up. Obviously, I like to have Mark on the show because he has the Viper cars, but unfortunately, this was not a show for Mark's kind of thing. You know what I don't want to, it's awesome that he has what he has, but it wouldn't have fit tonight's show. Nope. We're literally talking about AFX and Auto World Track and the placement of it, and he's got a Viper. So, so that kind of thing. You guys totally fit everything that I was looking for tonight. And not only that, you're all my members except for Scott. And for Scott, of course, I wanted to have him here because of his knowledge, his track, and he's our newest member of 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Woo!
Thank you, guys.
One last hand, boys, and we're heading out.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
Absolutely appreciate it, brother.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Dan.
you guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a good night.